In this session, let us see how a memory management unit is important in computer system. So far we discussed about many memory concepts, but after the evolution of the virtual memory, let us see this. After the evolution of the virtual memory, our memory will be able to store many programs at the same time. This is called multi-programming. When it comes to multi-programming, the main memory supports more than one program. Concurrently, many programs can be executed by the CPU. As there are a vast number of programs residing in the main memory, now we need to protect and give an excellent provision for memory management. Okay, so a memory management unit is becoming essential after the discovery, rather the invention of the virtual memory. Okay, now let us see what are the components and what are the prerequisites for memory management hardware. Here, demand on a computer memory brought by the multi-programming have created the need of the memory management system, because multi-programming will allow many programs to reside within the main memory. So CPU will be able to execute many programs concurrently. Okay, just let me explain you the difference between concurrency and parallelism. Concurrency and parallelism are simultaneous execution. Concurrent execution is not parallel execution. If 100 programs are getting executed concurrently, that doesn't mean that all the 100 programs are getting executed parallelly. Let us take that there is a CPU. CPU will be able to execute at any point only one program. But what CPU does is, rather than executing a program completely, after executing for a little time, it is going to switch one more program. After executing that program for a time, for a little moment, it is going to switch to another program. So CPU is going to rapidly switch in between the programs rather than taking one program and completely executing it. This is called concurrency. Concurrently, it is dealing with many programs. But parallel execution requires multiple processors in which each processor is going to execute a separate program. Nowadays, even your CPU is a concurrent CPU, is going to achieve is achieving concurrency, because when you load many programs in the main memory, they will be loading concurrently. They will be executing concurrently. So here, when it comes to the concurrent execution, our main memory management system more robust, because as the program is loaded into the main memory, right from the moment it is loaded till the moment it goes out of the CPU, that is, it executes, we need to protect the program. We need to give an excellent provision to manage that program. Are we storing a single program? No, we are not storing a single program. Rather, there are multiple programs. Hundreds of the programs are getting loaded into the main memory. So here, we need to have an excellent mechanism for management. If there is no proper management, the programs may go in vain. So for that reason, we require a proper memory management system. This memory management system can be a blend of hardware and software. Here it is given just a hardware, but a memory management system is a blend of hardware plus software, through which the memory will be properly protected and managed. Okay, so here demand on computer memory brought by multi-programming have created the need for a memory management system. A memory management system is a collection of hardware and software procedures for managing the various programs residing in the main memory. Okay, memory management hardware includes a dynamic address relocation. Let us understand what is a dynamic address relocation. When a program is getting executed, that program can be loaded anywhere in the main memory. There won't be any fixed location. Let us say when the program is executing for the first time, the address is given to that program is right from 250th address of the main memory. From 250 to 500, the program X has been loaded and has been executed. And now, when the program is executed, or is executed only for some time, only for a few instructions the program executed, after which the CPU decides to switch to one more program. Okay, and when the CPU comes back to execute this program, it should execute right from the instruction which has been suspended, right? So here, the dynamic address relocation, meaning this program can be stored somewhere else in the main memory once after it is switched. Okay, but generally it will all the time be available from 250 to 500. But sometimes when there comes a new program, this new program may replace one of the blocks of this program, which are not being used concurrently. You have understood in the page replacement policy. At that time, the replaced block of this program, what if that get accessed again? That block may be placed in, let us say, 500 to 600. Earlier, that block was just available in 250 to 500. And now the block has been placed in 500 to 600, in between 500 to 600, whatever, 500 to 750 in this case, let us say. Okay, so this is called dynamic relocation. A program can be located anywhere in the main memory. Generally, the program, when it comes into the main memory, it will be given a location. Dynamically, it will be allotted a location, an address space, 250 to 500. Every time when this program is executing or going out. So these are the locations that are allotted to this program. What if this program swapped out of the secondary memory? What if this program is swapped out to the secondary memory? When this program is going to be brought in, the same location may not be given to this program. Some more location, rather a new address space can be given to this program, that is 750 to 1000. So for this reason, we do have a memory management system which dynamically loads this program. Okay, this dynamic relocation maps the logical address to the physical address. We have already seen this logical, here he is referring to the virtual address, but there is some difference between logical address and virtual address. You know that when a virtual address is required by the CPU, the virtual address is translated to the physical address, right? So when a program releases virtual addresses, finally our memory management hardware, the memory management unit, translate the virtual address to the physical address to locate it physically in the main memory. Okay, and the second thing is, sometimes the program will be shared by many of the users. Sometimes there is a common program. That common program will be shared by many of the users. At that time, some privileges should be given to the users. Maybe read privileges, write privileges, and only read privileges, both read and write privileges. That will be come under sharing the common program by a different user. And a program is being used by multiple users, some privileges, set of privileges should be assigned to every user. Some users can modify as well as read the program. Some users can only read the program. Again, that will be only achieved by using some memory management system. And the program protection. The program should be properly protected. That is, you have a program X. This X should only be accessed by only the authorized users. But there is some unauthorization access has been initiated that should be declined. Again, only memory management system is going to do it. Okay, this memory management unit must be supported by operating system. Okay, in every operating system, there will be a module called memory management, through which, by taking the help of the hardware of the system, memory will be properly managed and protected. Okay, CPUs, that is what hardware is. It is going to use the hardware from the separate memory controller. There is something called a separate memory controller. So these two are the hardware components which are going to support the memory management unit, which is a separate module for every operating system. Unless the memory is properly protected, there is no way your program execution paradigm will work in a proper way.